go.
Times were tough, so I sold my soul. And I don't think I'll ever regain control. Devil looked me in the eye, now I look the other way. What else could I do? I just stood at the doorway, knew I'd rather be drunk with you. I'd rather be drunk.
Hey Internet, Dracofunk here. Welcome back to the Reusable Space Program, Season 2, Episode 20-something. I think this is Episode 28, but I don't know. It might be. But hey, we are in orbit of the moon, and honestly, this is a quick and dirty episode where I really need to get some fuel to the space station in orbit of Kerbin, and I normally would probably just do this behind the scenes and cut all this stuff out, because this is just kind of routine stuff that I do all the time, and it's part of keeping the reusable space program working. But as I said in the previous couple episodes, I've started a new job and I'm really busy, and I really wanted to continue with the cycle of episodes coming out, and I just I really had a whole bunch of I have my full-time job, and then I had all these side jobs that I've been doing, and this is my last super busy weekend in a row where I've been doing stuff every weekend since mid-July. And I say currently because it's possible I'll get a call for a job next weekend. I'm not gonna say that's not a possibility, but currently I don't have anything scheduled, so that's the plan is to keep it that way, and maybe I can relax a little bit more. But anyway, this is the mining ship. It is currently landing on the moon, or the Mun, and we're going to be doing some mining. We're going to fill all the tanks up, even with oxidizer this time, because I think I need a little bit more. Still probably not as much as I think I do, but fill up the monopropellant, fill up the oxidizer, fill up the liquid propellant, and even take a full load of ore back up to the Mun station, which is, I believe, Columbia Station. Yeah, Enterprise Station in orbit of Kerbin, Columbia Station in orbit of the Mun, Challenger Station in orbit of Minmus, Discovery in orbit of Duna, Atlantis is in orbit of Ike, and next season we will go ahead and build Endeavor, probably in orbit of Eve. And then I'm out of space shuttles. Even though I do plan on putting a mining station in orbit of Gilly, I don't know what I'm going to call it. I suppose I could call it Buran, which is the Russian space shuttle. Or, I guess it wasn't technically Russian, it was Soviet. I don't know. They built multiple space shuttles, but they only flew one. I don't know if they had separate names. Hey, put a message in the comment if the Russian space shuttles had names like the American space shuttles. Soviet space shuttles, I should say, not Russian. But anyway, I'm using the rendezvous planner right now. I'm doing all the maneuvering. I'm going to, at some point in time later, I will get bored of this and I'll kind of use the autopilot to do it. but that's because I had to run outside and lock up some of our animals. Because in addition to working full-time and then having like a part-time gig on the side, which was really 4 part-time gigs since Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday morning. I also have animals, like we have chickens and stuff. I mean, we have chickens and cats. Those are the only animals we have. But yeah. So I'm coming up on the MUN station. You can see it there in the distance. Columbia Station, that is. And I'm going to dock and do my favorite thing ever in Kerbal Space Program, and that is to transfer fuel. But I can't do that until I dock. Now, I've considered building a different mining craft, and in like Duna Orbit, I switched out one of the liquid oxygen tanks for just a liquid tank. One of the large liquid tanks that holds like 5,000 units of liquid fuel. And I probably should do that here too. But I didn't. I also don't have a solar array for this station. There are a few small solar panels, just like on the station core, but I don't have any large solar arrays here, and I probably should. I also probably need some more docking ports. But here we are, and first thing I want to do, I always do with the mining craft, is I transfer fuel back to all the nose cone tanks, because I know doing that leaves plenty of fuel to do a landing, and the first step I have to do is make sure that I have enough fuel to do the next mission, because if I just use up all the fuel, then I could stall the whole space program. That'd be no good. Oh, I'm yawning. I'm tired. It is Sunday currently. The plan is for this to come out in time, but, I'm not going to 100% promise that. The only thing that would stop that is I do have to re-render the video with the commentary and the audio, and I gotta make a slide, and I haven't made the slide, and I gotta re-render the video, and after I render it, I should probably compress it so it doesn't take an hour to upload. And I just can't 100% promise I'll get that done before I have to go to bed, because technically I should be in bed right now, but here I am talking to you guys, sitting at my laptop. On a Sunday night. Hey, other channel news. So, our regular 4-drink minimum, I wasn't going to be there because I had a job, actually, I had an out-of-state job that night, and ShaggyB's internet went down, and Vomit wasn't going to be there, I wasn't going to be there, and ShaggyB's internet went down, which left only Scrodrick, and that kind of ended the whole 4-drink minimum thing, our recording session normally we do on Friday nights. We did a makeup episode. And that should come out this Friday. It's not going to be our normal movie release. It's actually the first episode of a Amazon Prime show that we are going to try and finish. But that will come out in place of our regular 4-drink minimum. It just happened to be something we could do on a Saturday night. I still had a job Saturday night, but luckily it ended really early. It didn't go how my normal jobs go, but it was okay. Well, now that the fuel tanker, this is the Canterbury, named after the ice tanker from The Expanse. It is full of fuel. I'm going to get my Kerbin encounter here, and the whole point of this spacecraft is it fills itself up with fuel and delivers fuel from the Mun back to low Kerbin orbit. Because right now, the next big mission going out of low Kerbin orbit is the Manly needs to head out to explore another planet that we have not been to. It recently visited Eve, and I think it's time to head out to Dres, because everybody always forgets about Dres. And honestly, I think I've only been to Dres once in Kerbal Space Program. And I don't know that I actually successfully orbited it. I think I just got an encounter and did a flyby. So that is something I would like to do. And I would eventually like to set up a small base on Dres and visit the Dres Canyon with a rover, and I send a mining ship there. This is all, we're about coming up on season 3. I need to sit down and record the finale for season 2. Where I think we're going to send the Highway 47 crew around the entire Reusable Space Program as we are right now. So we're waiting on the space van currently to come back to Kerbin, which will be in the next episode, and then we will send the Highway 47 crew up in a special spaceship, and it will fly throughout the Kerbin system. Or they will fly throughout the Kerbin system. But back to what I'm doing on screen. So the Canterbury is in Kerbin orbit now, and it's just adjusting its orbit to rendezvous with Enterprise Station. I've done the plane alignment. Now I'm just lowering into a 200 kilometer orbit to get an easier transfer. This is about the time where I had to run outside and make sure my chickens were locked up for the night. They kind of put themselves to bed, but we have to go out and lock them up and keep them safe from predators. Like their home coop is kind of like a fortress, and we just need to make sure that it's locked up and hopefully no predators can get inside. I remember last summer we have a motion detection light out there, and I woke up in the middle of the night around 3 a.m. to the rooster crowing. The roosters crow at night to scare away predators, so if he hears something, he's going to crow and be like, hey, there's a rooster here, so if you're going to break in here, you're going to have to deal with me. And I heard him crow, and I laid down, I waited again, and I heard him crow again, and I looked out the window, and I didn't see anything, and suddenly the light went on. Oh, great. So I put on some pants and ran to the back door, and stepped out onto my back porch and looking back towards where the chickens are, and the light went off again, and I didn't see what it was, but I heard some animal jump over the fence and run through our backyard. And that's kind of unnerving at 3 a.m. outside, but whatever it was went away, and we still had all our chickens in the morning, knocking on wood. That's always the case. But here we are at Enterprise Station, and I am just trying to line up the docking ports. I like the aesthetics of this ship, but it is not the most practical spaceship I have built, and getting it to dock, where I put the RCS thrusters was not the most convenient either. And really, I'm just flying using the nav ball right now, trying to get everything lined up. And I'm also noticing that my electricity is dying, and I'm going to run out, and hopefully that does not mess up all the docking I'm doing. So I am out of electricity, but I still seem to be able to access the RCS thrusters, so I guess that is good. I hit that a little bit harder than I wanted, but hey, we're docked, and now we can go do my favorite thing ever. That is transfer fuel. So unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be enough fuel to fill up the Manly completely. And also, I have brought too much oxidizer into low Kerbin orbit, as a lot of my ships don't use oxidizer once they're up in space, because we're using the Nerva nuclear engines that only take liquid fuel, which means a lot of times my oxidizer is just sitting in fuel tanks. I thought I needed more. I thought one of those big orange tanks was completely empty of oxidizer, but that was incorrect. And also, I'm pretty sure all my liquid fuel is not going to be enough. I kind of do a similar thing as I do with the mining craft. So I fill up the 3 inline fuel tanks there, And that's usually enough, man, I'm yawning again, to get back to the Mun and rendezvous with Columbia Station. However, I could be a little bit tight on that since I have a whole bunch of oxidizer still in one of those fuel tanks. I have 1,500 units of oxidizer. And that might be too much because fuel is weight, and, well, that much extra weight is not good. So I might have the Canterbury hang out there for a little bit extra long. I had kind of planned on launching another one of the space trucks, but I haven't done that yet. And I'm just not going to get to it this episode, just because I didn't have as much time as I'd like to. Normally I record like 4 hours worth of video, and then I cut out basically everything I did today is something I probably would have just cut out and moved on to the next more exciting missions, but I can't be exciting all day, every day, all the time. So, yeah. Unfortunately, that was not enough fuel to completely refuel the Manly. I can probably fill it up if I drained the old mining ship down there. I still don't know what I'm really going to do with it. I'm just checking everybody else's fuel tank to make sure they're filled. But hey, guys, thanks for watching another episode of my reusable space program, and I promise we'll do some exciting stuff later on. Check out all our other videos, and yeah, go check out all our other videos. Like and subscribe. Thanks, guys. See you next time.